I'm very happy and glad and honored to have you guys again in one of our technical challenges. And as we always promise, and as you always have noticed in our technical challenges, they provide you with the opportunity to learn great technologies that are making a huge difference in our industry today. In addition to that, we do it in a fun way. We make sure that we learn the great technology and we do not get bored of it. Hello to everybody. Thank you guys for the guys that are cheering in our chat. Thank you so much for being with us today. It would have never been successful without amazing people like yourselves joining us in these technical challenges. You are the guys that will drive the change in our region. We are joined today with an amazing team from Edgecore. I really don't know what kind of words I can use to thank them for their support to our region. So we've got gentlemen from different offices like in Europe and Taiwan, and some of them it is really late for them in the workday. So we really, guys, appreciate you being with us and supporting our region. We appreciate the amazing technology that you guys provide, and that the technology that will be driving a major change in our region. We've got Mr. Nick and Max. They are going to provide us with some with a session that has some presentations and training. I want you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, to pay attention to the details of what Mr. Nick and Mr. Max are going to present to us, because this will help you a lot in the quiz that will be at the end of the session. And as you know, we always have an online quiz and we always have a challenge. We use Kahoot for these challenges, and there will be in the end one winner of today's challenge. So please pay attention to the gentlemen's presentations and demonstrations. They're going to show you a beautiful ecCloud management platform and how Edgecore is transforming wireless, making it so easy to manage and deploy. Edgecore is an amazing technology provider. They lead the open networking, and they're the largest actually white switches manufacturer in the world, a major contributor to Sonic operating system, network operating system, and a major provider in the development of that community. So they've got a lot. This is why we promise you that we will be having further stuff, further and more technical activities in the future, maybe focused on specific areas. We will be coming to you again for another technical session that are some other technical sessions that are dedicated for sales territories to make sure that you get the best out of this technology. And we will also, or Edgecore will be having your contact details. They will be sending you their updated technology newsletters from time to time, so that you will be connected and engaged with Edgecore and up to speed and up to date about their technical and technology development. And they've got great news every day. A couple of days ago, they had a major development in TIP and their contribution to the open Wi-Fi and the operating systems within the TIP community. That's a great topic to learn and look at in the future. For now, I just want to say thank you, and I thank our Edgecore great, amazing team, and I will pass it to the gentlemen from Edgecore to present themselves and start the presentation. And gentlemen, ladies, pay attention to this presentation. It will help you a lot in your quiz in like 90 minutes probably. So please go ahead.
Okay. In the first place, thank you, gentlemen, to join the Distilogix, the webinar. I think it's my pleasure to introduce the Edgecore solution, including like the wired and the wireless. And for me, I will take 15 minutes. I will do the product overview from the ecCloud, and we have a lot of the Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, or even Wi-Fi 6E, the access point. We had open Wi-Fi, okay, and also we had very unique, based on L2.11 AY standard, is the 6 GHz for the point-to-multiple point, And also we have a lot of the from the very smart layer 2 layer switch product line also under the ecCloud management. And also with here one thing is work from everywhere. Actually, we combine the SD-WAN solution, and also we have very tiny the devices can allow the users automatically to set up the Vpn tunnel, and you can get the data from your office. Last one will be the some successful deployment. Then Nick will continue to do the hands-on training and with a quiz. And I believe you can get the award very soon. So I think for the Q&A, yeah, like the Mon said, you can have your questions in the dialogue. If we can, then we can reply your questions. Okay, let me get started. For the easy cloud, actually, this cloud is a cloud management. Okay, it is now it is running in Google. I can let you know. And so you can see for the whole EC cloud, like including the access point, the pure switch, and also the 6 gigahertz solution. I think in Q3, the whole SD-WAN solution also came under the EC cloud management. This platform is suitable for the like ISP or like SI because it can do the multiple tenancy design, and you can do the central management. I think later I'll show you under you can create a many cloud. Under the cloud, you can create a site. Under the site, you can create and manage a lot of devices. So actually, our hierarchy is very simple. We just have 3 layers. The first one is cloud. Then under the cloud, you have the site. Under the site, you have the devices. I think most of you, some already asked questions about how many cloud they can create, what's about the site. Normally now we give you the one a core cloud. Okay, so you can, based on the one core cloud, you can create a 500 site. Under the one site, you can create 500 devices. We do not care it is the edge point or like a switch or like the SD-WAN. So you can use this core cloud and create your service. And last one is the just give you the some screenshot and dashboard because Need will just do the hands-on, so you can see in real time and for the data. So actually, it's integrated with the Google. So normally, yeah, you can click the Google the pattern here, then you can go deeper to the site. And under the site, you also can go deeper to the devices. So actually, this design is very, very intuitive. You do not need to, choose the left hand, the functional button, then item by item to check. And the right hand actually, yeah, is real time, the data from the wireless client. And also because this design also for the ISP, so we set up the different severity level. It is important because for some ISP, if you want to have the whole information, like the system cannot work, like the boot up, like something wrong, then sometimes they may think, no, they just want to watch the status about like the U-boot or system boot up issue. Yes, we allow you to set up this kind of function. So it can, the information can be from like the email or like the SMS. If you give us your operators, then we can do the integration with the SMS gateway. And last one, we also can use the Slack. So Slack is very, very popular, like a social media. You can do that, by that to do a lot of things. The right hand, yeah, just one page to show this one is about the switch, the configuration. For the EC Cloud, I think that our wired and wireless, we do not to have them separated, designed. And on the contrary, that we make it as the one, setting via the EC Cloud, but it can automatically to provisioning on the switch, on the access point at the same time. For example, we can use the physical port. You can use the physical port, and with the MAC address, you can stop some hackers. You can create a whitelist or blacklist. And right hand, I think everyone knows like the switch and access point. You can set up the VLAN policy individually. But if your policy, your creation is not correct, I mean, not synced to each other, then for sure the whole network, yeah, cannot work well. So now you can use the ecCloud just one time to do the VLAN setting, then you will be automatically provisioning on the switch on the access point. This one is very important, especially for the deployment. Yeah, it can reduce the human error. And last one, we call it add-on because some of you already asked like the pricing part or what's the promotion. I think for that one, after this webinar, yeah, you can just let the Distilogix guy and our Edgecore sales know because we do have the in promotions plan. In some durations, the triple A, like the OSPOR function, yeah, we do not charge. So let me just continue to let you know the function part. We can allow you use the ecCloud, can create the triple A, called OSPOR, authentication, authorization, and accounting. So actually, you can create your service plan. And because all Edgecore access point, one radio we support 16, 16 SSID. So we have two radios. So normally you can have the 32 SSID. So you can base on the SSID, you can do that kind of service plan, the provisioning. So you can set up like the internet, access time, like the quota, the information, and name and password. So it's very good, especially you, for example, you have the want to serve like the chain stores or like a coffee shop. You really want to, give the customer some free internet or they want to charge. So actually they can use this useful platform. The second one is the Captive Portal editor. That I think the design is the same. Yeah, we use the SSID. So every SSID, they have it there in the visuals, the design plan, and we create like the very intuitive design. Or for example, if you want to have like the Facebook, you can just drag the pattern to the left hand, it will be create one dialog automatically. So you want to use a test or like the YouTube, it can also create a video link. And in the ecCloud, actually, we provide 8 different scenarios, the background. So if you do not like the background or the photo, we can accept like the PDF format, like the JPEG format, so you can do any customization by yourself. So as I mentioned, you can do the provisioning by the SSID. So this one is also very useful.
If you allow me, Max, if you allow
Yes,
me to step in, because there is like a couple of questions related to the previous slide. So Mir Hafiz asked, when you say device, when you were talking about the ecCloud, does that mean access points or switches or both?
Oh, yes, both. Actually, yeah. Maybe I return from the first page.
Yes.
If you see the access point, like the period switch and 60 GHz, more is Sd-Wan CP. It's all just in the devices. Yeah.
Great. And Israr Ahmed asked, can we integrate with on-prem Active Directory or Radius servers?
Microsoft actually, yeah, I think that one, I think the current ecCloud, because they have the individual authentication method. But later I will show you, we have another, but that one is the appliance controller. That one can allow you to do the integrate other third party, the authentication, like the gateway something. But for the ecCloud, I think not now because some customer also require that. So I cannot say we do not have a plan for that, but I think it can be just one of in our ecCloud software roadmap. But now we all rely on the controller to handle that kind of request.
Great. And
Yeah. Yes.
also, Israr asked, can we have captive portal based on
Yeah.
user groups with single SSID, where groups
I
can
think,
be on?
I think yes, we can do.
Okay. Okay, great.
Maybe Nick can show
Elaborate
you
more.
that.
Yes.
Yes. Can do the live demo
Yeah,
for
because
that.
Nick guys will do a live demo, so you'll see it. Great.
Right.
Please
Right.
proceed.
Yes.
Apologies to
Yes.
interrupt you.
Okay, no problem. I think it's good. You can have some interactive.
Great. Yes.
Yeah.
Let us put a note to remind me that we're going to
Yeah.
demonstrate the captive portal, the
Yeah.
radius, the guest Wi-Fi account with different billing. Just
Okay,
put a note
good.
to remind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me continue. This one is also actually in the ecCloud. So I can let you know our design idea. Actually, we do not use like the Bluetooth like other vendors to do the location-based service. We leverage existing the Wi-Fi access point, and we use the triangle, the access point, the signal strings to get the locations. So I think the benefit here is, yeah, we just need let the users just enable the Wi-Fi signal. And as I know, most of like the Android or like the Apple with the iOS, sometimes even users, they do not enable the Wi-Fi, but sometimes, the in under the background, they will still send some beacon, to test if any Wi-Fi signal here. So I think the Wi-Fi is very popular. So now we use the ecCloud. Yeah, it can do the access point configuration and also can do the licensing control. The other one is we call this a smart indoor location, one AI engine. We needed the customers, we will provide a one VM, a virtual machine VM image, then customer can install to their data center and the server. So in this slide, for this server, you can collect the whole client, the data. So I think for us, the COVID-19, because in Taiwan, actually, our whole employees, we already use this system because when we get to the office, then we need to open the Wi-Fi. It will see the KV portal. That KV portal, yeah, we need to have the employee numbers. So for sure, every device has unique MAC address. So we will know who you are. Then we do the very good roaming and handover via the access point. So that's the reason we can chase the client where it is. So uh, sorry. So that one will be the indoor locations service. Okay, so it's a very typical, but because the time is enough, so if you are interested in that, yeah, we can have the further discussions for that. But just to let you know, we use the existing the access point can do the different applications. So now go for like the access point. So
If
I
you
think
allow
for
me,
the
Max,
edge,
again
yes.
to interrupt, apologies,
Okay,
because there are like
good.
a couple more questions. So,
Right,
Mr.
yeah.
Abdel Nasser asked, what type of security protocols to encrypt data or date? Like to encrypt, what type of encryption protocols used?
Now I think we use the TLS, the TTLS, and also we do like for the tunnel part, like the layer 2 TP tunnels.
Okay. And Mr. Muhammad Reda asked, can we have ecCloud to be installed on-prem, not in the cloud? And
understand. I think a lot of people answer this question. I think for the technical point of view, yes, but I think for the service prem part, for us, we only for some very huge, like the telco part, then we can provide that kind of the solution. I think the for that, I have to say technical part, yes. So
Okay.
I just
And
let you
if
the
we
sales.
if we do that,
Yeah.
do we lose any features or capabilities of the system by
Actually no, because that one, I think that everyone use the public cloud. Someone use the Google, someone use the Amazon. I think the beauty here is that they can provide like the data center. They can do the HA automatically. We just leverage their computing power, and you know the Edgecore also sell a lot of data center to the Amazon. So the other one is if we just have the whole ecCloud features under like the customer data center, yes, actually the features will be the same like in the public cloud. But the other question will be we need to know like your data center, like your your server spec, how you can do the HA, because if you operate one private cloud, then you need to consider how to do the HA. So
great?
I
So
think yeah,
technically is yes. The answer is yes. It could be installed on-prem, but there is lots of technical preparations, right?
yeah.
Yes,
And
very
also business scale. Yeah,
yes, business scaling case.
yeah,
Yes, you're right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Mr. Muhammad Taha asks, is there a plan to integrate with the captive portal with social media, Facebook and stuff?
Oh, actually yes. It's in the roadmap, but later maybe I show you one more page because for the whole authentication part, since we have a local controllers, so sometimes we will combine the two solutions for the customers. But we know the customers they all rely on just one public cloud, then they can do the whole authentication method. So I have to say it is in the software
Roadmap.
roadmap, not
Mhm.
ready now. Yeah.
Okay. How
Yes.
many, Mr. Kumara also, Kumara Vinod asked, how many SSIDs does
Yeah.
the 6E access point support?
Well, I think we will keep the same 32. We will keep
32.
the 32 because
Okay.
for the Wi-Fi 6E, I think for the indoor and outdoor, it will be ready and launched to the market by the end of this year.
Mhm.
And we a little slow down because for the 6 gigahertz, the channel, I mean the spectrum, it is not open, for the worldwide countries. So and also the other one is for the 60E, they do have some limitation, especially for the outdoor. Because I'm not so sure in your countries, because for the 6 gigahertz, normally most of country they use 6 gigahertz for the satellite service.
Mhm.
So that's the reason we do need to follow the FCC the standard. They do have the one idea is how to to make the conflict with the satellite service. So
Mhm.
I think Wi-Fi 6 will be the change, and that for our solution will be ready by the end of this year. Yeah.
Okay, great. And there are like two questions about the
Yep.
location tracker. So
Yes.
Nawab is asking how does it work with indoor location tracker? And Mr. Haja asked about smart indoor location solution. Is it installed on-prem or in cloud? So the question
Oh,
is it on-prem or cloud as a location tracker? And how does it work? How does it work? Like, can you let us
okay.
know more about the location tracker,
Yeah.
please?
Sure. Because I do not provide border for that, but I can explain. For the right hand, you see the smart indoor location, right? That one, we will provide one VM image. Then we need the customer prepare one server, or you have the data center, and it can run in Ubuntu OS. So you
Mhm.
need to install this AI engine in with the Ubuntu OS.
Mm-hmm.
But by the left hand, the ecCloud, the position here is you can do the access point, the setting. Also, you can do the license control for the access point. So that's the reason we make the join here. You want to do the AI engine to collect data from the access point, you need to install the VM image. So that
Are
one,
these sensors, like when you say install on Ubuntu, are these sensors?
yeah.
Okay, so it is
Sensor.
sensors based, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sensor based, yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Mr. Abdel Nasser asked, what about support for 5G access points?
Oh, that one, we for us, we only have the one model, but that model is not ready now. But that one, we will reserve the one USB connected, and we will use a third-party 5G USB dongle plug in. Then it will become the 5G access point. But that one, I think it'll be ready by the end of this year. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes. Yeah.
And also Mr. Hafiz asked, when you say a centralized management, do you mean if I have an Edgecore Wi-Fi access point, it can have the SSID to be part of the enterprise network?
Yeah, sure. Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
And Israr Ahmed also asking about the local controller. Does it run the same firmware, software, and features as ecCloud also?
Okay, very good question. I think for the product segment, I mean the portfolios, actually for the appliance-based controllers is more like the enterprise purpose. You can regard that like the Aruba controllers or like the Ruckus controllers, because that controller can set up a lot of VPN tunnels, and also we support the layer 2 firewall, and we support a lot of hotspot gateway function inside. But compared to the ecCloud, ecCloud, the position here is we just want to provide a one cloud platform. You can do the easy to manage the configuration on the whole devices. So it's a little different. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And Mr. Abdel Nasser is asking, what will be the major feature software system or application that will be added, like an added value to adopt the ecCloud and the Wi-Fi, the Edgecore Wi-Fi? What's the top thing you think will be the major thing for people to adopt ecCloud and Edgecore Wi-Fi?
I think the most, the current, the customers, they do like the ecCloud, like the dashboard design, and we do have the add-on section. We call this the app marketplace, like the Android. So when we have some new features, or for example, actually next month, we will launch like the real-time firewall, and that the company will cooperate with them. We integrate that agent in our Wi-Fi 6 access point. So when customers enable that add-on, then we will just to provide the real-time firewall in that dedicated access point. So I think the customers like the Edgecore, the ecCloud, because it can continue to provide a different service, but still under the one cloud management. I think it is a key part.
Good. And when it comes to ecCloud and using it, is there any internet speed required as minimal, from the locations where the access points are available and the ecCloud itself? Is there limitations on bandwidth or minimum requirement of bandwidth?
Oh, actually no, because I think that one is handled by by the, you know that you mean that for the management devices number for the ecCloud?
Yeah, like maybe per access point, is there a minimal number of like
Oh,
minimum bandwidth for
okay.
the to be able to
I
manage those access points? Yeah.
yeah, I think if the ecCloud actually, because it's in the Google, now I can let you know we already manage 160,000 devices in the ecCloud.
Well, okay.
So yeah, we can also share that information to you. So actually, we already operate more than 7 years.
Mhm.
So I think the system is stable now. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't think there is, for Bashar, I don't think there is any specific like minimum internet speed per access point or stuff.
Oh, right.
It's there is no, we don't see any challenges with that. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Please proceed. Apologies to interrupt, but it was really,
Yeah,
these
no
questions were
problem.
really amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, I think the access point, yeah, as I mentioned, I think for the Edgecore, no matter Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, or Wi-Fi 6E, the because there are two radios, so 32 SSID is our, the basic, the features. And also the hardware platform, we will provide a one web page. You can access, become like to be managed by the either as is our appliance-based controllers or ecCloud, or you can run the standalone mode. Yeah. So very easy. And this one Wi-Fi 6, and now we have the 101, 102. 101, yeah, we integrate the Bluetooth and Zigbee. I let you know because we saw a lot for some IoT vendors. Because IoT device all support Zigbee, so they can regard this access point like the gateway. We get the whole data from the IoT devices and pass to the ecCloud. So they regard the ecCloud like the big data analysis center. Right here is 102, it's a 4x4. But we do not integrate Zigbee. I think we just make the whole power budget still control powered by L2.3 AT. We do not power by BT because we know if we power by BT, then the pure switch, the price is very high. So it's not good for the customers. And I think this one is Wi-Fi 5. In most of like the APAC regions, they still love the Wi-Fi 5 because the pricing is not so high, and the coverage I think still can be acceptable now. So we have the 2x2, we have the 4x4. And we also have we call it the semi-outdoor, because you can see at the middle is device SPW2AC 1200. It can support IP55. And we sold a lot to Latin America. They regard this as the hotspot outdoor the service to the customers. And also the right hand, also IP55, but this one, AC 2600 is the 4x4. And Wi-Fi 5, the outdoor part, we have the two SKU. The first one is OEB100. I just give you some the setting point here. We integrate the Bluetooth, and also we provide the LTE as the option. So you can have we provide a one PCIe interface, so we can plug any like the 4G. Now we also plan like for the 5G, the car inside, so you also can get internet, not just using wired. You can use the different wireless signal. And also for the antenna part is important because we implemented two antenna elements inside. The option one is we use a 2.4 gigahertz like the omnidirectional antenna for the clients to get internet, but I also provide one 5 gigahertz direction antennas to connect another outdoor access point by the 5 gigahertz, use the WDS. So that one you can do the point, they share the 2.5 for the 2.4 for the clients. The option 2 is all for the point-to-point because we support the dual band, the directional antennas. So the beauty here is you can adjust this via the software. So it means you can use the software, you can select which antenna you want to run. So normally for the deployment point of view, you just need to install these devices, and based on your heat map, site survey plan, you can choose any device to use the directional antenna or like the omnidirectional antenna, point-to-point or point-to-multiple-point. Okay. Right here, I think this one just use the, we take out the LTE, but you can have the 5 GHz with N-type support. But for the 2.4 is embedded internal omnidirectional antennas. So IP rating, yeah, very high, IP68, -40 to 65. So now it's open Wi-Fi. I think this one is a new concept, but I just to emphasize one thing here is, a tip open Wi-Fi, it is not likely the standard, the tip or like the OCP program, because tip open Wi-Fi, what the foreign just handle the whole software integration. For example, the Edgecore contributed Wi-Fi 6 hardware platform to the tip. Then tip, they have the dedicated software team based on OpenWRT. They have their software roadmap. They develop a lot of enterprise features. So in order to manage different the hard platform, I think not just Edgecore, you also can find like a TP-Link hardware platform, but the Ssids-Wan software stack is the same. So they provide one cloud SDK with no span API. So that means you can use the cloud SDK, you can manage different brand hard platform, but with the one software stack. And if you become the tip open Wi-Fi member, then you can download whole device like Ssids-Wan source code, including the cloud SDK source code. So if you have the software team, for sure, you can download that as the base. You can develop your software features. And the right hand why we put ecCloud here, and we cover like open Wi-Fi cloud SDK 2.0, as I mentioned, because the cloud SDK, they provide a no-span API. So actually we use the ecCloud, we do the integration with still no-span API. So that's the reason we can say ecCloud can manage whole tip open Wi-Fi certified devices, not just the Edgecore brand. So this one will be, good for some big telecom. I can let you know, like the Deutsche Telekom, like the AT&T, like the Smart Telecom in Philippines. I think one of the Japanese operator also interested in this solution. Why? Because the telecom, for example, now they want to migrate from Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E, then for sure they will issue the RP to whole vendors. Then the vendors will fill in the comply, non-comply. But in the long run, telecom still need to reserve resource to do the integration with their network management system or their cloud. So they need to do that time to time, again and again, as long as new generation comes. But if you join the team, they have different hardware as different recipe, right? And I can regard a TP-Link as the social, or like a SOHO, commercial grade, and maybe Edgecore can be the middle enterprise. So, but the software stack will be the same, and just need to use their existing the controllers or network system integration with the cloud SDK. Then they can different choices on the platform. So this one is the main concept for the open Wi-Fi. So this one, I think that just integration. So for sure can use the manage whole Edgecore brand, not Edgecore brand, our standard products and the tip models. And this one is the benefit. Okay, because Edgecore is branding, we can do a lot of the technical support, supply chain, and we contribute everything. What we have, Wi-Fi 6 indoor and Wi-Fi 5, and also the Wi-Fi 5 outdoor. Now I migrate to the Ssids. Ssids actually, Telegraph, this program is from the Facebook. Okay, so we got the certified. You can see the Edgecore. I'm not sure if you know the Ssids or not, but actually in 2015, this standard is IEEE L2.11 AD. But if you know the AD actually is for indoor, but we are the first one, we can achieve 2 kilometers with the 1 gigabits per second. So at that time, we do the point-to-point, we do the multiple point, we do the tri-band, we integrate the 2.45 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz as the point to multiple point. And here we migrate from the AD to the AY. So we have our distributed node, we have our client mode, we have our long range mode. So here is the set spec. We highlight LR means if you need the long distance, we can have 1 pair. We can achieve at least 1 kilometer, 1 gigabit per second. So you can regard the MLTG 360 as the small base station. Behind the base station, you can have a CN client node like the CPE and also long range as the CPE. Okay, maybe I use this one. We also can use the CN, even less is the client node, but now we can use the software to configure as the distributed node. If you have a budget concern, you can just buy the CN model. And this one is the very typical application. The MLTG 360 uses a mesh. They call it a proprietary zero mesh connect to each other. Behind the DN, you have a CN, so you can serve 60 the CN devices via the one MLTG 360 DN here. So this one I mentioned, 1 pair. We install this more than 1 year on top of roof in Taiwan in our company. No matter it's a rains or sunny days, we can keep the signal still stable. Okay, and this one just let you know we can do the star topology. Okay, and this one is one scenarios. We also can connect, use the one wired Ethernet cable. You can extend the 1 kilometer easily. This one's another solution. Use just the 2 CN connect to each other. And here, because most of the customers like the ISP, so they need like a mesh mode for full IPv6, or it's a hybrid IPv4, or like a bridge mode, especially for bridge mode is important for the ISP. Now it's an enterprise.
If you allow me also
yes.
again, Max. So
yeah,
I've got
sure.
a couple of questions. So there was a question
Sure.
about the access points in general, whether like indoor, outdoor, open
yes.
Wi-Fi. The access point itself, do they come with their own storage to save the configuration, or are they 100% dependent on the ecCloud?
Oh no, I think that one will be. You mean the memory part?
Yes.
No, I think we all support more than like 1 gigabyte.
Oh, okay, so there is 1 gigabyte of memory. Okay.
Right. So yes, we try our best is enlarge the memory because we know the cost. They want to develop layer software features.
Yes. And is there a challenge that these access points will be facing if they are disconnected, like from the ecCloud? What will happen when they are disconnected due to internet connectivity problem or anything?
Yeah, I think that one, yeah. If you do the ecCloud, it just cannot to do the management. But the access point, if you already finish your configuration, still can work well as the standalone mode.
Oh, okay. And they will continue functioning. The only thing is management will be disconnected.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. You cannot find the status via like a Google Map because it's disconnected. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. And Mr. Mustafa asked about the stability of the ecCloud for like a restaurant or a venue or with 500 to 1,000 guests. Like So Mr. Mustafa was asking about how stable the ecCloud for a venue of 500 to 1,000 guests at the same time, compared, for example, to Aruba.
I think we already did a lot for that one. So
Yes.
I think we'll be. I cannot say we are better than Aruba. I think we'll be similar. Yeah, similar.
That's a good
Right,
answer.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Najim asked about the open Wi-Fi, and he said, is it
Yes.
going to cause security and hacking problems being open?
I think no, because even that is still based on the OpenWRT. But I think that the basic WPA, WPA2, PA3, I think they all follow the standard Wi-Fi features. So the other one is we do have the other customers, they do have a security concern, so they can use some TPM module. They can, they develop their some features for via the TPM.
Okay. And there was a question also related to security from Mr. Abdel Nasser. Is there a way to configure the controller or the ecCloud to hide, for example, for hardening the devices? Can you harden the devices using the ecCloud or the controller?
That one, I'm not so sure.
I think Nick should take that. Yeah. When he does the demo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
We will go through this in the demo session. Yeah. When we start the demo. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Israr asked, per radio SSID, do you mean 16 SSID for 2.4 giga or 16 for 5 gigahertz, total 32? Is that correct?
Exactly.
Correct. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Ms. Latifa asked, does the system record all mobile activities, like mobile activities, meaning the first time a user logged to the Wi-Fi and the last time he was connected? If this option is available, can we export such data? The logging features in general.
I think yes. Yes.
Okay, Najim asked again, the open infrastructure. Oh, that's a security thing. That's okay. So Mir Hafiz Ali also asked, does these antennas require LOS loss, or can it support NLOS? I think it supports.
Yeah. I think, for the physical characteristics for the antenna part, for sure, we expect it will be the line of sight. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. And Mustafa also asked, if you're using ecCloud, would we still need an on-prem controller to function as a proxy for other access points or switches? Do we need a proxy?
No, it's included. Yep.
Yeah, so you don't need that. Great.
Yeah.
So please proceed. Yes, we're done with the questions. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so good. So last one, I think the switch part, maybe I do not mention more because everyone knows switch, but I just let you know the Edgecore, we do have the full set. From the way smart, we have a layer 2, we have their 3 switches. If you check the Edgecore website, you see a lot of SKUs for the switch part. So I think compared to the application, ECS 2100 series will be for some small hotel, shopping mall, especially provide another PoE budget to power the SS1. So we all bundle a switch solution together with SS1 to the customers. So here, I think the feature-wise, even like this one is a layer 2, so you can see the plan short features. We all support the layer 3 static routing, Q-in-Q, MDNS, and IP clustering. Because if you check these features, you can find them in the layer 3 switches, but we also integrate this in the layer 2 switch. And the 4100 series I think we all handling like the Q and a selective Q and also like a dying guest, DDM, and also the important one is a static out. So here yeah, we the same. Yeah, I think I just make a list the two our hot selling switch product here. So we do have the more. Okay, now let me talk about the work from everywhere. It's our even this is our marketing term, but actually the first one will be our SD-WAN solution. I think for our SD-WAN, yeah, I think if you know the SD-WAN, I think the key part is that you can coexist with the MPLS system. The other one is if you do not have money to buy the expensive MPLS system, actually you can buy the SD-WAN. You can do the more WAN to do the load balancing. You can do the failover, and via the Edgecore SD-WAN solution, you also can monitor the internet quality via like the jitter, via like the latency, and also you can do the deeper packet inspection. You can change the clients if this stay time in which website as well. And I think the two major features here is if you know the open networking, actually our SD will also support like the container management, and you can use and to choose any CPU, any core, because we all support more than 4 core CPU. You can choose any core CPU to run the container management. Last one will be for the clients. For you to create a VPN tunnels and to get the data from your office, yeah, very easily. So for the management side, we call it a barista. It's our management, the name. We can allow you to install the VM. We will provide one VM as the software you want to install by yourself, and we can let you know what's the spec for the server you can install. And also, if you have your dedicated cloud like a Google, like a Amazon, we can help you to upload the VM to your dedicated cloud. Last one is the Edgecore ecCloud. So if you do not have any resource, so you can all rely on the ecCloud from the WAN, SD-WAN to the LAN, like a switch, like access point. So this one we target should be in September that we will launch the SD-WAN to be managed by the ecCloud. So we have the 3 SKUs. The first one is the 100. We target us around like a 300 employees. Even we can support a 500 clients. And the middle one is SD-WAN, more powerful. So Intel CPU 8 core. And so we target is the 1,000 employees. Last one we will launch very soon in Q3 is 102. And it's now actually modified. Now we add more CPU computing power from the 2 core to the 4 core. It also can provide a 4G K6 LTE. The next plan will support a 5G, so we can give the customer as one option. So it's good for the small chain stores, below like a 50 employees. So this one is the whole spec here. And I think this one just for some application. This one is more typical, especially for the enterprise. Enterprise, I believe the most of them, they all have the MPLS system. So use the SD-WAN. You can install the SD-WAN controller as the software, as the management. You can manage the whole the SD-WAN CP in the headquarters or the branch office. You can have the WAN one, or even have another ISP use the WAN 2 to do the load balancing, to do the failover. And last one is for some small the ISP that they need the likely flexible the routes applications, so they can use the MPL as the connection as the backup, but it use the WAN port to get the internet. This one is all for the ISP, MSP. They set up the biggest one, Sd-Wan in the central hub, and it communicated to another, the central hub. You can do the H8 or load balancing together and use the central hub to communicate with the whole SD-WAN CPE in the branch office, because it also support a dynamic routing. So it will be not limited with the CPE devices, and also with the virtual routing functions via the different the Tenet 1 or Tenet 2. You do not need to rely on a hub to do like the bridge, communicate with other branch office SD-WAN CPE. Okay, this one is what I mentioned. It's all for the remote worker application. It's important, especially now, like COVID-19. Most of the earth like work from home. So we did not have the extra charge. Actually, it's bundled in the SD-WAN CPE. So you just need to have the 4 steps. We use the Open VPN, the source code. The users just can create the VPN automatically to the SD-WAN CPE in the branch office. So you can get it in very secure VPN tunnel. Okay, this one we call it a pocket work from everywhere solution. Actually, I think the key selling point is, you know, this one is our controllers. Actually, you can do the enterprise. We support the enterprise features and can do the access point management. But now we use very tiny devices. You can allow you to take these devices. When you go home, you enable the internet, then this device will set up the VPN tunnels in the controllers automatically. So you also can do the dual 2 layers, the authentication, like the Microsoft 365. So it's very easy. You do not need to set up like the VPN tunnels, name and password, and a lot of stuff. You just need to let the devices with the internet access. Yeah, then you will create the VPN tunnels directly. So here is method 1. Yeah, you know, they can create the VPN tunnels. The right hand is just can do the dual, the authentication method with the name password, and also support the L2.1x authentication, Microsoft 365. And also we use the setup the same SSID. So no matter you are in office or at home, actually, yeah, you can similar like you are just at an office. Okay, this one is a controller base. So I think I just emphasize one more thing is our design is not like the Aruba rockets, because we all use the gateway function, hotspot gateway function, but we plus access point management. But for other vendors, sometimes they use the switch management plus access point management. So it's a little different. So we also can do the multiple tenancy. We can support the 16 service zone. Every service zone will be like the ecCloud, like the site level. It's individual. You can set out layer 2 policy, a lot of functions, AAA, and with the hotspot function, building system, everything inside, just in the controllers. So here, to let you know, no matter it's a layer 2, layer 3 network, that's what I mentioned, service zone 16. You also can do central access point management. Yeah, you can do the whole enterprise grade features. You can set up the role base. You can set up different roles with the different privilege. Okay, you can come out reporting. That's why what I mentioned, we do support a lot of social media, and also the user MAC address, IP address, LDAP, Windows NT, even like a Twitter, Facebook, Line, yeah, we support. So that's the reason if a customer they need more social media, we all ask them, okay, please buy one small controllers set up in local. This controller can handle everything. But if you want to the device management, you can choose existing controller to manage or ecCloud for the cloud management. So here, I think just give you one clear picture. If you want to manage like 15 access point with the 200 concurrent user, you can choose AWS 101. So yeah, you can see for the whole Edgecore controller, we also put a WAN port. So that's the reason, yeah, you can have the routing policy. You can have the layer 2 firewalls. You can set up that policy as well. So all handle the HA N+1. Okay, so the top one can manage 10,000 pieces access point. Okay, for the case study, I think we do a lot of it for the like the campus or the smart city.
Max, there is like a couple of questions I want to address.
Okay,
if you don't mind,
good.
Related
yeah, sure.
specifically to wireless. So one question was about TerraGraph. What is the advantage against the AirFiber PTP wireless bridging? The AirFiber. What is the advantage of using TerraGraph against the AirFiber?
Yeah, it's good. Because I think in Taiwan maybe it's not suitable, because I think compare like the United States and some advanced countries, most of you know, even you want to have the fiber, if you are like a service provider, you want to have the fiber service, right? Then you need to maybe pay the license to the government. Then you can have the right to do the cabling for the fiber. And for sure, for the fiber, you need to do the cabling effort. You need to take a lot of time for that. But for the CDRs, I think the three major setting point here. One is if you want have the wireless gigabit speed, yeah, use the CDR solution. It can be set up very easily. Just set up on top of roof, and because support the mesh, a lot of like a beamforming phase serial antenna inside, it can be automatically connected. The other one is CDRs in most of the countries is unlicensed free band. I'm not so sure, maybe in your country it's not, but most of the countries is free unlicensed band. So we all know for the Wi-Fi, everyone uses 5 gigahertz now. Maybe in future you can use the 6 gigahertz. But now if you find that a lot of the wireless signals, a lot of interference, the 6 gigahertz, yeah, solution can overcome this issue because it's running in 6 gigahertz spectrum. So very, very clean channels and spectrum. Last part is, I think it's also from the fiber company or like a satellite company, because we do have a customers, they are satellite company, they are the fiber company, they regard the CRs as like the backup, or some regions, it is not worthy to have the fiber connection. So they can use the CRs to extend their fiber connection to another areas. So I cannot say the CRs is the best one, but you can apply in this kind of application.
Yes. There was a question about Edgecore access points with switches from other vendors. Do they work fine, tested, everything, like if you have Cisco switches or Juniper switches, do these access points work fine? The answer is yes, of course. Yeah, the answer is yes. And these access points, because they use the AT-PoE, they consume less power and they're easier than your switches also. Mr. Muhammad Nuran asked, can it be integrated with Active Directory? Yes, we will address this when Nick starts showing his demonstration. And this Active Directory integration happens on the controllers. A good question. Also, Mr. Muhammad said, if I have my head office in Qatar, which is one country in the Gulf area, but my remote workers and users are in Egypt, which is like thousands of miles, 3,000 miles away from my head office. Does the Pocket WFA solution work fine? Can I give it to my users in a different country and they connect? Assuming there is internet connectivity and there is everything. Yes, of course. That's why we have the WFA actually.
Yes. Yeah, no limited.
Yeah, that's why they made it. Yes.
Yeah, but please make sure the internet is stable.
Yes, that's the main reason.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. And also, Mr. Mohammed Noran said, where can we connect in Qatar for demo or information? So Mohammed, Nick, when he does his demo, he will show you how we can use the ecCloud, and we can help you with the demo in a later stage. Like, contact me, please. I can easily arrange it. You can easily actually register to the ecCloud, and we will describe how to proceed with the demo later on. But yes, you can get a demo. Mr. Najim asked, 60 gigahertz may have any interference issues in 5G, do you think? Do you think there is a problem between the 60 gigahertz and the 5G when it comes to interference? I doubt, yes, no, there's no way. Yeah.
Right.
And also, Esrar asked, the product ID of Sd-Wan product looks confusing. Sd-Wan 102 and 101. While it supports 1,000, he wants or she wants 1,000, like, because it supports a huge number.
I understand.
Valid point. Yeah, it's a valid point. It's a valid point.
Yeah.
Read the specifications. Don't depend on the product ID.
But that's okay. We'll catch your eyes, right? So
yeah, that's good. Very good point, Esrar. Very good point. Yeah, I think we're done with the questions now. Yeah, but please proceed, Max. Please.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think the last one is a host case. Last one is for the OAB 100. So actually, they call this the mobile card. Sometimes they will use that for the teachers, or you need the let the students use the iPad, can do the like e-learning, the purpose. So let's set up the one OAB 100. This antenna actually is for LTE, not the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi all integrated, as I mentioned. So you can do this kind of the application. So here, the product deployment, yeah, we use the ecCloud because it will be easier. And for the inside, I mean in the classroom, and we propose Wi-Fi 5 4x4, and with the 10-port the PoE switch. And here, I think we also mentioned point-to-point. Yeah, we choose the option 2, the antenna. So at least we can make sure it will work very well within like a 3 kilometer, can do the point. Another one is for the chain storage, because we support, I think, yeah, we will support more now. I think now it should be the more than 900 wireless access point, because they need a very good roaming, because this internet not just for the, like the guest, but also for the employees. So normally they will take their cell phone with the ordering information inside. So the assets need to do very good roaming and then support the post, the systems. So this one is also use ecCloud, because they do not like the controllers, because controllers, the feature wise is too much for them to enterprise. So this one is product. So the mall is also like some very big, the shopping mall. And here you can see the Metro Link 2.5 gig. This one is, they have 2 buildings and around like 800 meters. So they use the 30 hertz. Okay, this one can be good solution compared to the fiber, because fiber will be not easy and not worthy. So they just need 1 pair, and they can have the 1 gigabit per second to another building. Then under that, they can have the indoor Web 2, the access point, and we also provide a lot of these switches to them and use the ecCloud management. This one is for some health center. So here you can see we combine EWS 5.03. They do a lot of billing system. Then they also have their some gateway and some AAA a server by themselves. We do the integration with them and authentication, and they use ecCloud to do the whole device management for the access point for the switch. This one is also for the hotel. They all use the ecCloud. And new Taipei city markets, they also use the ecCloud as well. Will be easier. This one will be in Taiwan, supported 275 schools, more than 6,000 access points. This one use the controller base because you know the campus, you will be not allowed us to use the public cloud service. So they buy the two controllers. One controller can manage the 10,000 access point. They do the HA, and we provide the switch core switches, there two PO switches, and also the access point. And then they also by one access point support LTE, but that one will be for the mobile, the campus e-learning purpose. Okay, this one is the biggest one. Use the controller base. Support 92,000 indoor access points. Support serve the 4,000 the schools, because one school have one controller inside. We also provide one big network major system to them. It's a FATEC project. You also can Google that. Very, very big projects for the Turkish government. Okay, this one is for the, sorry, this one is in Georgia. Also use the controller base. They needed to set up the VPN tunnels, a lot of enterprise function. So once the safety entry in Singapore, they use the ecCloud for indoor access point. This one is a smart city in Philippines, Makati City. It's a controller base. Okay, then they buy our industrial PoE switches and power to the Wi-Fi 5, the outdoor access point. It already run like more than 2 years now. We have also public the park Wi-Fi. It's controller base. This one is for the night market. So we show you here is the main purpose is just let you know our access point. We can afford a lot of the concurrent users, but the system is still stable. This one for the chain stores controller base in Japan, more than 2,500 access point. This one is in Indonesia for MLTG for the trial later. This one is for in Philippines for the Sd-Wan, and also in Philippines for the Sd-Wan. This one is in Taiwan, Sd-Wan. Okay, I think that's so. I hand over to Nick. Sorry, maybe I take too much time for my side.
It's okay, Max. It's okay. We have a couple of questions also, if you allow us, Nick. We have a couple of questions. So one question is from Mr. Najim about deployment of Wi-Fi solution in telecom operators. Do you have references for that? And does your Wi-Fi solution provide hard handover solution with 3G and 4G?
I think that one, we only have the one major case is a Zhonghua Telecom. It's a tier 1 operator in Taiwan. Okay. But that one, we support the whole hotspot system integrate with the Zhonghua Telecom. They have the big cloud. So we do the integration, but we use the Wi-Fi 5 outdoor indoor access point for their 4G offload. So actually this data did not come back to the like a TWAG or EPDG, the system in the customer side. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Yes. And the last question is about WFA. Do you have it as a virtual appliance, like a VMware virtual appliance? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, I can take this to the development team. No, actually, no. Why no? Because we just want to leverage existing the controllers. Then if we become the VM, it will be I think technical part for sure, you always can be doable. But for the current solution, we do not offer that. I think the main reason is for the IT department, what we want to share their idea is they want to have the one appliance that can handle and then no issues for the hardware and the software interoperability. Because sometimes we find, yeah, like the VM, yes, like you can run it like Ubuntu. Yeah, interoperability will be, oh, we don't know which issues in hardware also.
Yeah. Especially you're dealing with remote users that could be in any
Right.
situation. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Right.
And does the WFA support 5G internet bandwidth? If yes, like
actually, 5 gigahertz or the 3GPP, the 5G.
Yeah, it supports that both.
No, I think the
5 GB, 5 gigabytes. Sorry.
5 gigabyte.
Yeah,
you mean the interface part?
Oh, you mean 5 gigahertz, Taha, right? Muhammad Taha,
yeah, sure.
Asking about
2.4.
Yes, yes, it does support that. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about 5 gigabyte internet speed. I don't think there is any challenge.
Yeah.
Because you have the WAN links, you have the LAN links. The internet speed won't have an impact. And
right.
does it support how to call it? There is a question about Ipsec Vpn also with WFA.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes,
sure.
Using
sure.
UDP protocol, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And is there, Mr. Bashar asking, is there like for outdoor access points, have you faced issues with strong air effect in open areas like storms and?
I think a good question, but actually, let you know, in Philippine case, sometimes
Philippines has lots of tornadoes. They have lots of hurricanes.
Should be like a thunder.
Yeah, hurricanes and thunders. Yes.
even we support like a surge protection. If the thunder, just bump into the devices, still cannot work. Yeah.
Great. Mr. Taha says there are like some WFAs, they have limitation in the number of sessions and number of users. Yeah, this is why you have 3 models from these WFAs. And, yeah, you're right. And based on the capacity. And Israr says, I think the AX can go up to 2 gigabytes or gigabits of speed.
Oh, yeah, speed. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Even 2x2, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Good. I think we're ready to proceed with you, Nick. We're sorry we took your time, man.
Yeah, no problem. As long as I can solve your problem questions.
Yes, it was amazing. Nick, it is to you now. Thank you so much. So we'll start the live demonstration of the ecCloud. Yes.
Sure.
Thanks, Max, for the great introduction. And now it's my turn to share my screen. Okay, so how's my screen? You guys seeing it loud and clear?
Not yet. No.
Not yet?
No.
I haven't I? Is it broadcasting?
Yeah, it is sharing now.
Okay, it is shared now.
Yes,
so appreciate Max for the great presentation introduction to our product. And in my session, I'm gonna have a real demonstration or real deployment showing you our product and telling you how it works. It gives you the picture to our product and you can imagine the topology. And last but not least, after this session, we will fulfill the deployments with our product. Okay, so Maud, time's limited, and let's just start it with this way, okay?
Yes.
I see lots of people asking good questions. Some might be texting you with private message that I wouldn't see, and some just ask here that everyone can take a look and see the answer. So
I just want to remind you, Nick, you remember you said we need to remind you about the captive portals, Active Directory integration, Radius integration, and guests with multiple groups. You remember I said to remind you about those?
Yes, I remember. So they ask good question, and I'm gonna give in the next 5 minutes, let us take a short break. I understand time's limited, but this 5 minutes really is valuable, because I would like to invite all the participants to register with our cloud now. It's free, so you can just register right now. Just click I want to register and verify your email and set up your password. And then you are free to go with ecCloud. In the next 5 minutes, I want the participant to take a look at our cloud, browse everything, and leave their question here. Okay. And then I understand that you guys want to win the iPhone. So we had a quiz at the last session. And if you want to win the iPhone, please pay attention to the old port and the hotspot, which Maud just asked and reminds me that I need to go through. Okay. Maud, do you think it's a good idea?
It's a good idea. Would you please just share in the chat the link for people to register and access the ecCloud? That would be great.
Great. And Max, may I just share all the presentation PowerPoints in the, I cannot share right here. Can I? No, I must upgrade to Google Drive. Okay. So let us just register with the ecCloud first, and they get a glimpse and browse around all the function, cloud level, site level, and device level, okay? And take a look at all the configuration, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, Metrolink, and Telegraph, also included. And they get they had fun with, oh no, they just read some material with old port and smart indoor location, especially old port, okay? Well, they just spend 5 minutes to get a browse around, and then let's have a real demonstration tutorial with the last 10 minutes and answer all the questions in this session, okay? Yes. How about this? Okay,
yeah, great.
So
please register, everyone. Please register. The link is in the chat, so you just follow it, register. This will give you immediate access to the cloud platform, to the ecCloud, and then you can see it live with Nick.
Yep. And also, I'm going to answer all these questions with some real deployments. Yep, people are asking about work from home mode, and I'm going to answer it and answer all this question in a technical way, okay? Okay, so right now it's 7:25 in time. Sorry, it's in UAE time, so it's 3:25. Let us take a 5-minute break and register with our ecCloud. When you have an account, let's be back 5 minutes later. 3:30. Okay.
30. So a silent break for 5 minutes for people to register, and then we will be back there. As Nick said, you will see stuff that will help you with the exam today. So 5 minutes for registration and access.
All right, I'm back. Hello. What?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we are back, and so in this session, let's be interactive. Okay. I'm gonna run through how to register my device to my cloud account, how to do some simple troubleshooting, and in this session, participants can ask any question of their real deployments with troubleshooting issues. Okay. And the last session, let's answer these questions again and show some real deployments for them to have a real picture with that. Okay, shall we? So let us get started. When you register with ecCloud, this is the first page you will see. It's the dashboard. The dashboard shows everything, information that you needed with your deployment, with your sites, including system status, activity, and your add-on overview, and whatever so on, and including some notification and alerts. And let's go to devices. So the first thing you will do, you will need to create a site, okay? I already create some sites, some for demonstration, some for today's session, some for my deployments, okay? So after sites created, maybe let's just create a NIC here. Okay, enable configuration, upgrade at registration means upgrade your device when registered. Allow auto re-registration. Oh, if you reset your device to default, it re-registered to the cloud again. And the cloud will notify you or telling you if you need to deal with it, or is there any issue why your device being reset default? Is it accident or something like that? Okay, advanced setting, retry config sync. Okay, let's just let's just put it aside and I'll explain in the Q&A session. Sync with switch Vlan. This is the feature that you just already that we demonstrate or Max described to us. If I add a Vlan tag SSID, do I need to configure switch port one by one? No, the ecCloud automatically help you solve it. Okay, it's sync switch VLANs. And there's a question asked if there's any connection limit or is there any timeout limitation with deployments and the cloud, especially GCP. You can configure that. We have some deployments using cloud satellite. We have some deployments using satellite network. Now the satellite network, just like you know, it has good connection with good weather, but when it rains or typhoon strike, hurricane comes, the latency might be increased. So you can configure running config timeout with this configuration to adjust the device connection with the ecCloud to find the best value with that. Okay, so after your site's created, you register your device. So add device. Here, we put on serial number and MAC address. Okay, I already add some devices to my sites. Okay, so we go to device web UI, system setting, enable agent and confirm your registration URL. Okay, so since we are using GCP, there is something that you need to know, some factor that you must know before your deployments. What ports and IPs do I need to open on my firewall to connect my device to ecCloud? Yes, of course, your firewall cannot block the connection with GCP, okay? These are the IPs and ports that must be open for you to enjoy ecCloud, for you to enjoy old port without an issue. So let me put that reference here. This website is also Edgecore Help Center. So you'll find a lot of learning material. It's our knowledge base. So you'll find anything, everything here. Okay, let us move on. After enable the agent, you go to Dashboard, Services, and confirm Ignite Cloud Agent status. Okay, it's running. Also, you can use SSH to help you get the detailed log when troubleshooting. For example, some people might ask, oh, why my device sometimes up, sometimes down from the cloud? Is my connection stable? Here's some diagnostic tool. You can ping, trace route, and NS lookup with Ignite.com or 8.8.8.8 Google DNS, okay? Okay, also, you can open an SSH session. Well, you can close it for security, but if you want to troubleshoot, you enable it. Okay, so let me just enter my login password, login credential. It is safe because we will randomly generate a hashed password for you to log in. You can configure it anywhere. So there are some commands, some common command like ifconfig to see my interface IP or whatever so on. I can also ns lookup google.com, okay? And also now I'm gonna use mgmtd log to check my connection with ecCloud. It shows SSL handshake complete, so it's encrypted. Connection complete, connection successful. Okay, so no issue. But if you need to troubleshoot, we will be back with SSH session to fulfill with that. Okay. And after device registered and connect to the cloud, so let's configure it. And it's Wi-Fi 5, I'm adding a SparkWave 2. You can also add Wi-Fi 6 in this tutorial. Here are all the configuration you needed. SSIDs, edit, SSID name, broadcast, client isolation, maximum client count, broadcast rate, network behavior, old port, I'm going to enable it later. Okay, you can also filter MACs, okay, to have MAC allow list, ACL MAC, MAC access control list. Radio setting, you can configure 5 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz. If you're using Metrolink, there's also 60 gigahertz available, also Telegraph. General networking, help. Here, you can configure LAN ports or add VLAN here. Local networks. Our device can be a DHCP server, providing different network segments. So you just add custom LAN and configure your IP with DHCP segments. Okay. Firewall provides different, lots of rules. You add firewall rules, port forwarding, ARP inspection, DHCP snooping, and also QoS. And now, pay attention to hotspots, because, well, if you want to win an iPhone. Enable hotspot gives you some options. You can have external captive portal, or you don't do nothing, no authentication. You want to use simple password with a splash page, or you want to configure local splash page with external radius, even remote splash page with external radius, okay? You can have isolation to protect your guest network. And you configure your network setting, network segment, DHCP gateway, DNS entry, and DNS mapping. And also a radius server, secrets, shared key, authentication method, captive portal with customized page. There is an editor available for you to upload logo and edit your terms and conditions. And you can have some exception like wall garden and old whitelist. A hint, this hotspot is using Kuva Chili. Kuva Chili is an open source hotspot add-on, okay? For system setting, you can enable cloud status LED, blah, 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 SSH port, allow SSH from when. You can enable it or disable it. Okay, Telnet, NTP, SNMP, remove syslog, Bluetooth beacon, multicast DNS, IGMP snooping, LLDP, and iBeacon. Even SNMP for you to use a network monitoring system and NMS to configure, to monitor your status. We also have ping watchdog to ping something. If it fails, it sends out notification and alerts to you immediately. Okay. Okay, so hotspot is one of the captive portal feature, but we also had another captive portal or another way of authentication. It's called auth port. In the add-on here, by add-on, accept, continue. The auth port is available now, done. So in the auth port, once it's available, you will see it here, auth port. This is another captive portal add-on. If you don't know how to configure local splash page or have your own Radius server, you can buy this add-on. We will have an internal Radius software in the GCP platform, providing easiest way to have customized login page and different way of service plan to authenticate a guest. Here, you can add service plan. So something like configure with basic time length or customize your billing plan and activate one. So it's activate before a session, expire on or does not expire your account quota. Let's limit to 1 GB. And some advanced setting. Do you renew your account daily, monthly, or weekly? Number of device per account you can log in with concurrent user. Okay, confirm. And now let's create account with the corresponding billing plans. So just add an account here. Maybe that's just Edgecore. Okay, and password. Also Edgecore. Plan, maybe that's just old core service plan that is just created. Okay, confirm. Okay, then I upload an HTTPS certificate, or you don't really need to. I can edit my captive portal with templates. So if you guys don't have HTML coding ability, you can just use our editor to customize captive portal with this tool, with this utility. You can change logo, change background picture, or change fonts, change image, put on advertising video, map, link, blog, whatever, so on. Okay. And then I go back to my device and configure SSID and enable auth port. Okay. So I didn't buy add-on on this site. I do it in another demonstration site. So right now it's not available, but it's on the other sites here. Okay. So let's just add demonstrations, bridge to internet, and auth port enabled, and you can have captive portal, whatever, so on. And you can also add a captive portal with your corresponding URL if you upload your own certificate. There is also external captive portal enabled. You can also do that. Okay, So Matt, any question about the cabinet portal and the authentication?
Yeah, I think we got like a couple of questions. IPsec limits. No, it's only about the access points, IPsec and access points and bandwidth limitations. So nothing about the access portal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's just go through these questions and answer quickly. So let me go through a question. When you saw a device, does this mean ABN switch? Yeah, this definitely means the ABN switch. And what type of security protocol to what encrypt date?
To encrypt. Yeah.
Oh, encrypt. What kind of security protocol to encrypt date? We use NTP servers. So encrypt security protocol. Well, if you want to use NTP, you need to use port 123. Okay. And can we have ecCloud to be installed on premise, not in the cloud? If yes, any loss of any features? So far, we only authorize ecCloud to run on GCP. Yep, I understand there are some feature or POC asking if we can install ecCloud in a VMware, but let's just discuss it case by case, okay? Normally, we still recommend to use GCP, Google Cloud Platform, okay? What about supporting for 5G AP? So let me put a reference tutorial here. This is a YouTube video demonstrating the OAP 100 with a SIM card and LTE module. Okay, so let me answer it here. Okay. Hey, wait. If I answer it, it's encrypted.
No, if you answer it, it moves to the answered questions. To another tab.
Another tab.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to an answer. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
That's okay.
Okay. So when you start centralized management, you mean if I had an Edgecore Wi-Fi AP, it can have the SSID and can be part of enterprise network? Yes. And local controller is running same firmware software as ecCloud. No, negative. So this is a controller, and as you can see, the web UI is totally different from the ecCloud. Okay, so it's different. It's a little bit different. What will be the major future software system or application that will be added value to adopt it for? We can consult with sales representative and Max later. How stable is the ecCloud solution for a venue restaurant with 500 guests at a time? And how does it compare to Aruba instance on? Okay, so well, just deploy enough AP to carry those concurrent users, and it shouldn't be an issue. The open infrastructure is not a big threat for hacking and security. It is based on OpenWRT for you to implement new feature with and build your own firmware. Okay, so well, if you build, well, if you implement, that really depends on how you build the firmware and implement the feature to OpenWRT to tip firmware. Bandwidth requirement, so I just answer it here in the site property. So it's actually not bandwidth requirements, but we can just configure to adjust config timeouts limits corresponding to different network requirements. For the AP and any controller device that communicates with ecCloud controller, can it add security layer to hardening the device? If yes, how this work? AP and any control device that communicates with ecCloud controller, not.
I guess the question was about can we harden the devices using the ecCloud control, ecCloud when managing whether switches or access points? You can do configurations, including hardening. Yes. Now, security layers, as you can see, there is layer 2 firewalling, there is MAC access lists, and there's lots of stuff that you can do in the ecCloud. Yeah.
Okay, great. So does the system record all mobile activities, meaning the first time a user logged into the Wi-Fi and the last time he was connected? Yes, here, wireless clients, it records necessary data. So this is for demonstration. I didn't really connect it. Let me show a hotel deployment. Hotel Royal in Hsinchu, Taiwan. And here, we record wireless client session, and you can track and tracing these clients. Okay, it shows online time, IP address, current SSID, which access point is he associating, last seen, and blah, blah, blah. And some, if it's available, we can even know the operation system. But since most of the mobile device use random MAC, it is encrypted and cannot be traced to protect personal privacy. Okay. The open infrastructure is not a big threat for hacking and security. That depends on how you implement and build your firmware. Okay. So for open Wi-Fi, it allows you to implement your own feature corresponding to your own deployments, but it requires also research and development ability to keep an eye on security issue. Does this antenna requires line of sight, or can it support most of the telegraph and Metrolink devices? Line of sight is actually necessary. But if you use 5 gigahertz to do WDS, then it's not really necessary for it to be line of sight. Okay. If you are using ecCloud, would we still need an on-premise controller to function as a proxy for other access point or switches? We still need a controller. That really depends. If you are building home Wi-Fi, you sure will have PPPoE modem, right? That works too. And for this Hotel Royal Hsinchu, it already has its own premise controller or Palo Alto firewall to configure the network segment. Also, you can implement our EWS controller as the authentication gateway and use ecCloud. By doing so, you will have the benefits with cloud managed network, but also have the different feature to provide authentication without a controller, provides such as local account, on-demand account, guest account, one-time password with mobile, SMS message, external authentication, LDAP, or Active Directory, radius, and social media. Yeah, I remember someone's asking about social media authentication. Also, now we also have new feature with Microsoft account authentication, since people are using Teams, and we also provide authentication for staffs to have internal access with Microsoft applications. Okay.
So it's like these are like extra authentication methods provided by the controller. But when you use the ecCloud alone without a controller, you have stuff such as off port, and which is a cloud-based authentication.
Correct. So off port, it's implemented with GCP. And once you have connection with the GCP, you will use the radius server inside to have different accounts with different billing plans to provide guest network. If you want to use other, a little bit complicated way to authenticate a user, such as Microsoft application, then you need to have an EWS controller and its deployment on the premise controller. So yeah, that's just two different logic. Good question, thanks. Okay, where were we?
Israr.
we are here. Okay. So will AP works with switch from other vendors? AP works with switch from, sure, it just follows CCNA standard. So yes, it works. Vlan, whatever, we have many deployments, I cannot say their name, okay, with other blah, blah, blah routers, blah, blah, blah switches. It works. I also have many experience to, well, you know, doing some compliance deployments with our AP and with existing devices or for infrastructures. Can this be integrated with Active Directory? For EWS controller, yes, it's here, LDAP. You can integrate it with Active Directory. Can Pocket Wi-Fi solution, work from anywhere solution, work for remote user in Egypt if the headquarters is in Qatar? Yes, here. So devices, WAPN, template, wireless network. Here, you will have work from home mode and it use cab web to penetrate, to set up a tunnel interface. So just be sure to have port 5246 and 5247 open, okay? Where to contact in Qatar for further demo or information? Well,
we will manage that. Yeah, we will manage that for you. So
thanks, Matt. 60 gigahertz may have any interference issue with 5 gigahertz. No, 60 gigahertz are license free, and there are 4 free channels nearly worldwide: channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gigahertz don't really interfere 60 gigahertz. Okay. On the other hand, 5 gigahertz, there are DFS channel and several other channel interference, so it's often being interfered. Well, let me show you here. Device. Okay, let's go to this site. So Metrolink radio. So mainly it's using it should have 60 gigahertz. No, I don't have a demonstrated device right now, but mainly it's using 60 gigahertz and use 5 gigahertz as a backup connection. So when 60 gigahertz, it's very easy to be blocked by water absorption or oxygen absorption. For example, if it rains and the 60 gigahertz disconnected, we also have 5 gigahertz backup connection, okay? Does your Wi-Fi solution provides hardware handover solution with 4G? Yeah, we have LTE dongle. Do you have you ever deployed Wi-Fi in telecom operator network? Yeah, Max already answered that in the previous session. What about highest temperature? Whoops, haha. So normally, I think if you deploy, well, it's, I understand that it's sometimes hot outside in the UAE environments, but our outdoor APs, well, in my field experience, 50 degrees Celsius is still acceptable. Okay, but using the IPsec will have limits like bandwidth, blah, blah, blah. How this will impact? IPsec will have limits like maximum bandwidth. We can discuss this question if you telling us your detailed topology or deeper detailed application. It really depends case by case. Can each core OS be installed in other bare metal devices? If you mean a VM, well, we can discuss it. Depends on the POC scale and be used with ecCloud. Okay, compatible open networking hardware. I mean, compatible open networking hardware. And technically, yes, we can discuss it with detailed information. Does it integrate it with SharePoint or similar apps to automatically save data and report? Good question here. So for ecCloud, we keep our activity records. We keep these activity records. Oops, let me change back to my cloud. Well, we keep the wireless client records and activity records in GCP, and there's add-on available for you to buy extended storage. You actually pay to GCP actually. This add-on will extend the amount of time your site's data is retained in the cloud for 30 days to 1 year. Okay, so you can buy add-on, then you extend your storage up to 1 year record.
There was a question, Nick, in the chat about does the ecCloud page that we are seeing now, can it be also in different languages such as Arabic, or is it only in English?
Well, good question. Here you can, let me go. So here we have English, Japanese, simplified Mandarin, traditional Mandarin. I don't know what it is. Espanol. Okay. So if you want to have Arabian, we can discuss it.
So the answer is no, Mr. Bashar, but hopefully it will happen soon. Where you get the interface in Arabic, yes.
Yep. Okay. So, but as for this exercise, we need to add AP, which not achievable now. How to proceed? Any idea? No worry. I know you don't have any devices on hand right now. So in my quiz, you don't really need a device. You just need to register ecCloud and get a, just get a glimpse with these features available. Or, all right, let me help you with this. You can study in advance, okay? So we also have knowledge archive. Okay. I think if I do this, everyone will get 100 with the test. So we might need to buy 44 iPhones right now,
They all deserve. They all
deserve to get over. Well, do you have enough money to buy 44 iPhones right now?
They all deserve it. Such an amazing team. Unfortunately, we should have one winner today, but they all are like gorgeous by nature. Yes.
Yeah. So we have knowledge base with IgniteNet and ecCore. Okay, just tell you the old story. Before ecCore, we were actually IgniteNet, and then rebranded to ecCore, providing more product with a bigger team, okay, and scaled up every day. And so here in ecCore Help Center, knowledge base, you learn so many materials, something like someone is asking open networking switch, right? So here is our open networking switch knowledge base. And for ecCore and IgniteNet Wireless, you learn more material here. From where? From our archives and knowledge base, depending on different product line like ecCloud, Enterprise Wireless, IgniteNet Wi-Fi, and even Metrolink devices. Okay, so I cannot go through every topic today, but I'll leave some trace for you to follow up. Okay.
And Nick.
Yep.
Nick, you can show we also have the training program in the partners.
Yes.
The product training, Edgecore product training center.
Edgecore product training center. You want me to be product training center training or training portal?
Yes.
Edgecore training portal. Oops, Max, if you can do me a favor about is get the URL.
Yeah, if you can paste it in the chat, Max, that'll be helpful.
Sure. So let me do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions before we starting the quiz, or is there any feature that you wish to have a detailed explanation, or you wish to review it again before we giving out quizzes?
Mr. Mirror Hafiz asked, can we demonstrate on access point location placement with heat map if it supports?
Okay, so here there are some related maps. First, it's topology. Enable LLDP, you will see your deployment topology easily. So it really helps when troubleshooting. Take this as an example. It shows device IP and what port it is connecting. And here, let's trace it. So it shows that I'm connecting to Fusion switch with Ethernet port number 6. And it's actually connected to even PoE, powered by PoE with Ethernet port 6. And regards to heat map, so there are 2 maps available. First, you place your AP, with Google Map, whatever, just randomly placed near our office. Let me put it back to our office. All right, so now you know where to find me if you're coming to Taiwan. So floor maps, you can upload your floor maps, add new map, okay? Configure your scale, and then you configure, you place devices, okay? So it's drawing the heat map after you properly configure. Show coverage, okay? But this is just a simple tool. It doesn't have, concrete calculation. If there's concrete wall or metal plate, it's not available to calculate. So it's just a rough, rough demonstration or rough calculation for you to design or think of how many APs you needed to put it in the deployments. But still, you need to be on site and use AcroLink or SS Insider, SSIDER, something like tool to optimize your network. But don't worry, if you're already deploying with our product, I'm going to teach you hand by hand, or I'm going to, work with you together to optimize deployment and to run.
Yeah, that's an amazing point, Nick. Because guys, we will have further, more detailed and more focused technical enablement and empowerment to you guys. So no worries. We will go deeper, but at a smaller scale than this scale in the near future. No worries about that. Mr. Nawab, Nick asked about if I lose the connection to the ecCloud, is there a way I can do line command configuration to these access points, or a mobile app that connects me to these access points or switches?
You mean this, Nawab? Are we able to configure the devices cloud access loss? Yes, definitely. So there are several tools available, SSH or console. If you're using Wi-Fi 6, like EAP 101, there's console port. So you can also configure it and troubleshoot it with the console if you are losing connection with the cloud. Also, I want to introduce a useful tool. It's called TS file. It is called TS file, troubleshooting log. So here, fetch troubleshooting file. Okay, then let's wait for a while for it to fetch it. Let me just open one of the TS file on my computer to demonstration here. So when you have any question, issue, or you want to consult, TS file helps a lot. This TS file is from a Wi-Fi 6 EAP 101. Open it up, you'll see several files and directory inside. But no worry, it is OpenWRT based, so these should be familiar with, for engineer, or even you're not engineer, you should be familiar with that. For example, what is the ifconfig? I should have that in the quiz. What is the ifconfig? Okay. well, definitely, you know, it's just interface configuration. So if a customer asks, hey, why my AP's lost connection with the cloud? So first thing I would do is ask the TS file and check the Ethernet WAN port, VR WAN connection, what IP is it getting, and see the ping DNS, is it able to get domain name, or is it able to NS lookup or something like that. See, ping to blah, 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 it's the gateway, it's the DNS, 0 packet loss, okay, should be fine. And it's my, whatever. Next I would do is check the ping gateway or port status or whatever, so on. And I would check the log read to confirm details of my devices, what happened to it, is a client disconnected or associating to it, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So many, okay. And also, I can just restore customer configuration using SCP. So I just copy all the file and SCP back to my devices, and then I restored it. So I don't have to ask customer to provide the configuration file to me. TS file already described everything. Okay, so back to a question. Are we able to configure the device if cloud access is lost? Sure, yes, it is definitely available. You can also configure, just enable agent, enable the management agent, and the AP works as a standalone mode. Well, for you to configure independently. Any command line config or mobile app, yep. Mostly you can just SSH to an AP and use command line. For example, I did Control C. Okay, something like ifconfig, where you already know what it is, and gmtd log and ns lookup, or service wireless restart, service network restart. Should I? Well, there's so many others. All right. Oops, no worry, whatever. No worry. So, well, it's not included.
Yeah, the traditional terminal management and commands, yes.
Yep. Okay, so forget it. Maybe I made a mistake, but no worry. And let's just go back to gmtd log. All right, keep it synchronized with the clock. Yeah. Then what's the command syntax Edgecore supported? Just take a look at the TS file and you will know it. It's actually the command. So there are so many others that you wouldn't, for example, log read, all right? Log read, it's definitely exactly the same. All right, so like Cisco, Camera, Aruba, yep, already. So Linux, Unix, I can say, yeah, Linux, Unix. Looks like Linux, correct? You get it?
Yes.
Okay, so. All right, so Maud, I think.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Appreciate it, Nick. It was an amazing session, Nick and Max. You guys are awesome. Okay, guys. So it's the fun time, and I keep the fun time with me always. It's where we get now. We're now at the time where we will go for the online quiz. So, and it's gonna take us 15 minutes. It's not gonna take long. It's only 10 questions. Easy for you guys, I know. Remember the rule: to be able to win, you need to be able to answer the correct answer, to choose the correct answer faster than anyone else. So winning is function of time and correct answers. So if you answer correctly but late, you lose points. It's all about accumulating points. And if you allow me, Nick, I'm gonna share my screen just to show the ladies and gentlemen with us what we will be doing for this quiz.
All right, thanks, Maud. I'll give it to you. Now it's your session. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How do I stop?
Good.
Okay.
Great. So let me share. What we will do, guys, today is we will be using a tool, an online tool, an app called Kahoot. Many of you guys, I know they use it, especially if you joined our technical challenges before. So what I want you to do is, one, install the Kahoot app on your mobile phone in case you do not have it already. So we'll wait for a minute or so for everyone to install their Kahoot app on their mobile phones. You need the Kahoot app on your mobile phone because that's where you will be selecting the answers and choosing the answers. You will need, pay attention to this, you will need to see my screen. I'll be sharing my screen with you guys. So you need to be able to see my screen because the questions are available on my screen while you will be answering using the Kahoot app on your mobile phone. When you install the Kahoot app on your mobile phone, it won't ask you for anything. It's just a simple installation. So you install it, you download it, install it, next, then it says, if it asks you, are you doing it for in a personal purposes or like enterprise purposes, choose personal, choose one player, whatever, it's a couple of questions, no data entry, nothing, nothing to do when it comes to the Kahoot apps. Then you get the Kahoot app, and when you open it, you need to be able to see this button at the bottom of the app. Do you see the colorful button in the end? You need to be able to see that because that's where you will enter the game number, which I will share with you shortly, and be able to join the game and then select the correct question. So the steps: 1, install the Kahoot app. 2, make sure that you get to the point where you will have those 4 colors here on the Kahoot app. 3, make sure that you can see my screen to be able to read the questions and you answer using the Kahoot app. The app will not show you the questions. It will only show you 4 colors. So you select the color that associates with the correct answer. Make sure that you have the app in hand and you have the screen in front of you. I will share a game number. You will enter it on the Kahoot app using this button. You click on it. Once you click on it, that's what will happen. It will ask you for a Kahoot game number, as you can see here, which I will share in a minute. And then we will enjoy the game. It's only 10 questions. You build up your points to be able to be the winner. We will have 1 winner today. I wish we can do more, but today we're having 1 winner. So it's going to be a nice and competitive kind of challenge. We'll love it. We will wait for 1 minute now. I'll wait for you guys to make sure that you have enough time to download your app. And please do me a favor. If you have your app running and everything ready, just type ready on the chat, please. Just type ready. And we will have like a 1 minute of good Mustafa, ready, Faiz, Nishad, perfect. So just type ready. We'll have 1 moment of silence waiting for everyone to be ready. Good, I see people joining already. So this is the PIN number. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a nasty fight today, huh? We will wait for a couple of minutes for people to join. We have like 40 plus attendees, so expect at least like 35 or kind of like people to join. Let me check the chats just to see if anyone is having issues. Pandero, unfair to have only one prize. Oh man. Okay, we will arrange something. We will get at least 3 prizes and very soon. But for this time, it's only one winner. And I wish you all the luck. Okay, Israr. I wish I can help. I wish I can help, Israr. Please wait until download. We will wait, Bashar. No issues. We will wait. Give you some time. No issues. We're all here for each other, so we'll wait for you. Yeah. Kahoot has a crazy, Edgar says that there's good music. Kahoot has a crazy selection of music with games. I believe there is AI behind it. Like sometimes they give you creepy music to scare you from the question. Sometimes it's exciting. This is why I love this tool. It's an amazing educational tool. Enjoying music out is great. Bashar, I'm waiting for you to let me know if you're connected or I see your name. Welcome from Nairobi. Yeah, no. Do you know why, Noah? Because winning tastes really good. It's not about the prize. And welcome from Turkey, Muhammad. Riyaz. Winning it really tastes good, man. It's not about the prize. I agree with you. Guys, we'll be just like waiting a bit because we want to support our colleague Bashar. He's still like having issues with downloading the app, so give him a bit of time. And until we like Bashar gets the app downloaded, we have 10 questions, and for each question we gave a 1 minute time span for each question. Now 1 minute sometimes might like feel really long, but please be patient. The reason why we made it 1 minute per question is because we have a big region and we have participants that have like French education, participants that come with Russian education and Arabic education and stuff like that. So Want to give everyone the chance to really understand the question, go through the options, select the correct option, and so on. So if it feels really long for you guys, please bear with us. It's to support the whole community around this challenge. Yeah, that's the block out for everyone. Oh, thank you, Muhammad. Muhammad says the session itself was a prize for me. You're awesome, Muhammad. Bashar, we cannot really wait longer now, so we should like start in, I don't know, 15 seconds. So we are starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and starting now. We have 39 contestants. Enjoy and good luck. It's okay, Bashar. No issues, Bashar. We appreciate your presence with us. So we're starting now. Enjoy. So this is the Edgecore Cloud ecCloud Challenge. 3, 2, 1. Quiz. Which hierarchy level is not in the ecCloud structure? You see, Edgar, I don't know why Kahoot selected this kind of music for the first question. I thought they will give us a more exciting music. Oh, now it's exciting. Okay. 39 questions, answers, I mean. I've got half a minute left. Fifteen seconds left. Dog, that's amazing, guys. 27 people get the answer correct. Beautiful. And yes, it is the GCP level. Amazing. A very good start for the challenge today. Let's see who is good, Maha. 900 points. So guys, this is how it works. You collect points by answering the correct question faster than anyone else. We have on the board 5 people, Maha Yasar, Ahmed Bakhit, Darren, and Asad. Keep pushing, guys. We just started. Boom. Next question. There was an access point that lost connection with the ecCloud. Which of the methods would not help to troubleshoot? And again, back to the creepy music. Half a minute to go. And this music makes me feel like I'm walking into a vampire house. I think what Kahoot does, it feels that the question is so difficult, and then it gives you that. But again, a good achievement. 21 people got the answer correct. Amazing, guys. I'm proud of you. Very good start. So, yeah, Diva, good jump. Good jump, like charge. Maha, you still have the hope. You're still on the board. So keep pushing. We still have 8 more questions. We added access point to the ecCloud, but default credentials were not available with default root and admin 123 after synchronization. What happened? What could be the reason? Oh, yeah. "30 seconds to go." Okay. Okay. 18 people got it right because the access point inherits the site level settings. Yes, and but 12 people got it wrong this time. More than 12 people. So, but keep going, guys. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. These are technical, tough questions, I know. And Diva, good job, man. You're leading the pack. Ahmed, keep pushing, man. User said that his Wi-Fi connection is slow. There are tools and features to remotely diagnose and troubleshoot. Which one would not help? God, amazing. Yes, it is rename. You cannot. It doesn't do any good, right? Renaming the X1. Good point. Good point.
I actually had the experience that I renamed my AP to "Do not connect," and no one connected. Deal, solve it.
So good. Great. Divak, you're on fire, and there is a fire mark next to your name even. Good job. Good. A customer provides the TS, the troubleshooting file, for us to reproduce. Which file should we as copy or as CP into the access point to restore the configuration? Now it's happy music. 25 seconds to go. Yes, good. 27 people got it right. It's the config file. And Nick just showed it to us like 5 minutes ago. Good job, guys. Oh, Deepak, you're truly on fire, man. But you know what? Someone is getting so close to you. Like, I don't know, 50 points difference. Keep pushing, guys. We still have, like, I think 6 questions. So we still have the chance. In the config files, which configuration would help us confirm if the access point connects to the ecCloud? Mm-hmm. 30 seconds to go. Oh, not everyone got it right. It's the ACN file, and but it's okay. I think it probably could have been a tricky question. Let's see what happens to the board. Divak, you're leading the pack. Guys, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't leave him alone in the leadership. Question number 7. As an access point reboots for a reason, which of the directory and files in the TS troubleshooting file would not help? This is a tricky question. That's why the music is so creepy. Oh, good. 21 people got it right. It's a tricky question, honestly, but that's good job, guys. Good job. It's IW config. Good job. Divac, you're charging like 1,000 points ahead from the next person. Amazing job. Keep pushing, everyone. There are 2 hotspot options available in the ecCloud. Which of the statements below is true? And 30 seconds to go before the vampire wakes up. Ah, good. Well, amazing. Amazing, guys. 23 people. I'm really proud of you guys. You have like solid technical background. This is really good. And Diva, you're still leading. And Darren is pushing. 1,000 points, Darren. So if you win the last 2 questions, I think you can win. But Diva, you're doing great, man. A user adds a switch and access point to the ecCloud. Which of the below statements is false? Half a minute to go. Good. 20 people get it right. Guys, I'm really impressed. Really impressed. So the last question, you still have a chance. One last question. Ahmed is charging. Okay, about VPC, which of the statements, the following statements, is false? So this one was tricky. We only got 8 people with the correct answer. The standard domain requires DNS entry because that's false. and there is no SSL certification auto generation or renewal. So this was the last question, and now we will be finding out who won the challenge. So we will be showing 3 people on the podium. Oh, Mr. Zahid from Pakistan, you did an amazing job. And Darren, great job. And the winner is, of course, Vivek. Amazing job, man. Such a great achievement. And guys, I'm really proud of today's session. I've seen how solid you are technically and how close the race is. And I can tell that you prepared very well. I'm really proud of you. You guys are what made this day such a beautiful day. We had people from Central Asia all the way to Morocco and Tunisia, people from Turkey all the way to Kenya. This is the most beautiful mix that I've ever had. Thank you so much for making today such a great day. Divak, if I cannot reach you for some reason, I want you to send me email to this email, me@distilogix.com, and I'm going also to put it in chat for whatever reason. If I can, I'll try to locate you from the attendees. But in case I cannot, please send me that email so that I can find you easily and coordinate for the logistics of the iPhone delivery.
Yes, sir. Muhammad, just one more thing. I know that everyone is leaving now. Just I want to say on behalf of Edgecore team, I would like to thank you all for joining this session. We really enjoyed it. Thank you for the engagement and for being for attending this this training session. Looking forward to collaborate more for more business opportunities. And thank you all again.
Thank you so much, Edgar. And thank you guys at Edgecore for the very innovative technology that you give us. 2, for this amazing support with being with us in this region and supporting our region and our partners. And as I said to you guys, we will be having more technical challenges, don't worry. And we will have these sessions where we'll be giving more prizes. We just want you to be with us, okay? And if you don't win today, you will win next time. We've done probably 5 or 6 already technical challenges since the beginning of the year, and we'll be doing more. No worries. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being with us. We took longer than expected, but you guys were awesome. I really couldn't stop enjoying being with you today. Thank you so much.